Hello everyone, I'm Jessica Blackbird. Welcome to my channel. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you. Hey you guys, so I did a video talking about Kevin Federline, Britney's ex-husband, father to her two sons. He did an interview with the Daily Mail, and he literally took Jamie's side. He said Jamie's Britney's father, who held her captive in the guise of it being a conservatorship to help her with her issues. In my opinion, she was being held captive against her will. She was being used for her money, the cash cow, if you will. And I'm seriously surprised that he allowed her to have a relationship with Sam Asghari, who's her husband now. Anyway, back to Kevin, the scumbag Federline. Kevin said that he feels sorry for Jamie and that Jamie has been put through the ringer. Well, it came out later, after maybe yesterday, that there's a possibility that Kevin was on Jamie's payroll, which is why he's on Jamie's side. He has 2 years left of child support. He gets, according to things that I've read online, he gets $35,000 per month for those two children. And he was being paid $10,000 per week with a $50,000 bonus when Britney was on the Britney's circus tour. Okay, so I'm going to get into that, and we're going to see. I think that he is scum. How could he ever? Jamie Spears, it was reported at one time that Jamie Spears actually was physical with one of their sons, and the child did not want to be around his grandfather. But Kevin, you're forgiving him. You said he made a mistake, and if your sons want to visit with their grandfather, they can. Are you crazy? This man, in my opinion, is severely abusive. And do you want him to do to your kids what he's done to Britney? Use them for money? I mean, in my opinion, this is all my opinion that I'm stating now. Her family used the F out of her for what they wanted, not just what they needed, but what they wanted. And I don't care who disagrees. That is my opinion, and it is backed up with evidence. If you guys go search for it, you can find so much evidence of how they bullied her and into the conservatorship. How many young people do we know who have had breakdowns in Hollywood? It's been going on as long as I can remember. From I grew up in the 80s and 90s, and there was always some young Hollywood star or musician who just went berserk at some point. And they got through it, and most of them became even more famous, more rich, and became very respectable. Look at Robert Downey Jr. How many times has that man, when he was a younger man, been in so many troublesome issues, with his drug use and all of that. His career could have been ruined, but he got help, and nobody stuck him in a damn conservatorship. And look at him. He's a very respected actor. And nobody did what they did to Britney. The paparazzi was following her not long after she'd given birth to her second child. Did they even think that maybe this girl is suffering from postpartum depression? No, they took it as their chance to get a hold of her, especially her father, in my opinion, and put his foot on her. Because guess what? They wanted the damn money. And if she was so effed up all of those years, how is it that she was still able to work? How is it that she was still out there on tour? She sat on a stage of a live show, America's Got Talent, I think it was. It was one of those shows where you judge, people, talent coming in, trying to make it big. And she didn't miss a beat. I didn't watch the show, but I had to go and look at a few episodes online so that I knew what I was talking about. So if she was so messed up, how was she able to keep providing jobs for all of those people on tour and for her disgusting father? She also bought her mother a home, and she was paying for the upkeep of the home. So, I agree that, some of the things that she does on her Instagram, like taking those, like her husband said, suggestive photos. I wouldn't do that at 40 years old with 2 children because it might be embarrassing. But I think that Kevin took that situation and he's using it, in my opinion, you guys, to help her father, so that they can both continue to be paid, or so that Jamie will not get into a crap load of trouble. And in my opinion, Kevin was all entwined in all of this, so he would also stay out of the headlines and possibly in trouble. I don't care if you're blind or deaf. Anybody in their right mind can see that Jamie Spears is a dog, in my opinion, a horrible person, and abusive, and all about Britney's money. Go get a job. You and Kevin both. Go get a goddamn job. This just pisses me off so bad. And yes, Britney is 40 years old and she's immature. But go look at many of those people who become famous at the age that she became super worldwide famous. And many of them are like that. I mean, they may not be at the points where Britney is, but remember, she's been in a conservatorship 13 years and everything in her life was controlled. So she didn't have a lot of experiences other than being a damn workhorse. This just angers me so much. And there was someone that I was speaking to who said, why do you get so involved and so angry about what happened to her? She's rich. Well, it doesn't matter if she's rich. She's a human being. And if it can happen to the rich and famous, anybody, it can happen to anyone. Any one of us poor working stiffs can be taken advantage of by someone else. So we shouldn't just sit and cross our fingers and our legs and watch. No, all of us should be saying something about the way she's being treated. Her father needs to go sit his ass down somewhere. Go work, even if you have to do a desk job. Go get a damn job. File for retirement from, Social Security or something. Make your own way in the world and leave your daughter's money alone. I hope they find some incriminating evidence against him and his ass goes to jail because he really did her wrong. I mean, this girl couldn't drink a Coca-Cola without permission. She couldn't have a Tylenol without permission. She says she spoke about all of this, and I believe her. She says that she had an IUD in against her will. Now, she's 40 years old. Her and her husband said that they lost a baby. At 40 years old, she's high risk. All these years that she could have had another child were stolen from her. Her fertility could have possibly been stolen from her. I hope she has that other child that she so wishes for. She deserves happiness because it couldn't have been happiness for 13 years of her life. And imagine, people, for 13 years, she was in captivity, in my opinion. Before that, what was being done to this girl? She started working when she was a child with Disney. So her parents, they've had it made for a very long time. And her father, in my opinion, probably got used to having that easy income. So when she had the breakdown, I think, this is not fact, but I think he took that and ran with it. That was his opportunity to really take control of her. And in my opinion, Kevin was okay with that as long as he got money out of it, because he's a damn sorry loser too. I think that about him. I'm right to have an opinion. That sorry piece of garbage tried to have a music career after he and BRITNEY got married. Didn't work out for him. And he's tried several other ways to try to make it in the entertainment world. In my opinion, he's just talentless. Yeah, he was a backup dancer. They said he was a good backup dancer, so maybe he should have just stuck to that. But prior to BRITNEY, he had 2 children with the actress Shar Jackson. So he's been on the come up, on the back of other people. Again, my opinion, I don't know him, but from everything that I've read about him and seen, that is my opinion of him. He's just garbage, in my opinion. And I keep saying in my opinion because I don't want anybody to try to come after me for what I'm saying, what I believe. The next person may not believe. They might not see him as garbage as I do. But hey, like I keep saying, we're all entitled to our own opinions. So let me read to you this piece of evidence, what we think is evidence. I saw it on the Popcorned Planet, Andy Signor's channel. And this guy, I don't know how he does it, but he gets to the information usually before everyone else. So let me read this to you. And then you can make up your own mind about how Kevin Federline just may be garbage. All right, stick around and we'll talk about it in the comments. See you there. So on Twitter, there is a person by the name of BRITNEY Stan, S-T-A-N. And this person posted breaking: new documents show Kevin Federline was potentially being paid up to $10,000 a week by Jamie Spears during Britney's circus tour, the same year they initiated the conservatorship. Wow. And so then this person posts this document And it says, Dear Mr. Federline, the following will set forth the agreement between you and Spears King Poe Incorporated, a Delaware corporation company, with respect to your services on the Britney Spears 2009 tour, currently entitled the Circus Tour. Our agreement is as follows. And they go, through a bunch of different agreements, but these are the most important to take away from this. And I'm leaving photos of these, okay? Okay, so it says, company hereby engages you to render services as an independent contractor, as special tour consultant throughout the initial leg of, I can't see what else this is, of the which consists of approximately 42 concert dates, primarily in the US, Canada, and the United Kingdom. Attached hereto and incorporated herein by reference is a copy of the current routing schedule for the initial leg. The routing schedule is subject to minor changes, of which you will be informed in a timely way. All right, skip to number 2 because the person who posted this has some of this covered over. So number 2, it says you will render such services as are reasonably requested by Mr. Jamie Spears or substitute co-conservator of the estate and or person of Spears, with respect to any and all matters relating to your children, Jaden James Federline and Sean Preston Federline. You will interact with Mr. Jamie Spears, who has been given certain rights and duties with respect to the children by the family law court. Number 3, we understand and agree that it is in the best interest of the children that they accompany the initial leg and that a safe and comfortable family environment be created for the children during the initial leg. We have informed you that the children will be provided with their own first-class tour bus, which will be customized in a way to make it a safe, interactive living and play space for the children. The children will also be accompanied by their nanny and current security. Mr. Jamie Spears will continue to provide supervision for the children at any time that you are unavailable to do so. You will receive the following as full and complete compensation for your services: a sum equal to $10,000 per week for each and every week of the initial leg, including any periods of time when you are not with the tour during the initial leg. So he's getting $10,000 a week during that tour, even when he's not on the tour. All right, so this is again my opinion. This Zero ASS Federline has been living off of Britney for years, you guys. I mean, seriously, it just makes me so angry, and it makes me feel like I'm gonna cry because this woman has been used her entire life. I mean, it is just sad. Okay, back to the article. A bonus, okay, so he's getting $10,000 a week, even when he's not there. A bonus at the sole discretion of Mr. Jamie Spears of a sum up to $50,000 payable, if at all, at the expiration of the initial leg. So he got a $50,000 bonus and $10,000 per week. let me see. I'm going to go and see how long that tour was. And that'll give us a clue about how much he was paid. So the circus tour started on March 3rd, 2009 and ended on November 29th, 2009 with 4 legs and 97 shows. So this was way back in 2009, but it still holds water to today. So you guys, if you want to get further details about this, go to Popcorned Planet, Andy Signor's channel. They go into lots of detail, and most of this is, well, all of it is alleged for now, and Andy really does go into detail about lots of what's been going on. He's been following this from the beginning with Free Britney, and he has so much information. I don't know him, I just follow his channel. So if you want to know more about all of this, head over to his channel and let me know what you guys think in the comments about what's going on, about my opinions on Kevin and Jamie. I think they're garbage. And yes, Britney is a little out there, but she's not hurting anyone. She's not harming herself. She's living after 13 years of being a damn prisoner. All right, you guys, let's talk about it. Bye. Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing.